Something that's always been a highly interesting topic to me is lost media. The idea of a piece of media that once existed, but any and all recorded copies just no longer exist. There's something very otherworldly feeling about learning of these lost and forgotten remnants of humankind. They may still exist somewhere in someone's possession, but there's also the chance that any remaining copies have long since been destroyed. That's the tragedy of lost media. While rabbit-holing one night on the Lost Media Wiki, I stumbled upon something that piqued my interest. Allow me to introduce the 1990 Tokyo Toy Show Sonic the Hedgehog demo build. This, by all accounts, is one of the earliest known prototypes of the original Sonic the Hedgehog game for the Sega Genesis/Sega Mega Drive, having been shown a full year before the official launch of the game in 1991. But what exactly was the Tokyo Toy Show, and what was this demo all about? Held in the summer of 1990 in the Chiba Prefecture of Japan, the International Tokyo Toy Show was an event organized by the Japan Toy Association. The event would allow toy makers and game developers to show off all of their current projects, kind of like E3 or CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. The show was held at the Makuhari Messe Convention Center that year and lasted a total of 4 days. The first 2 days were reserved exclusively for industry insiders, while the last 2 days were open to the general public. One of the major companies that was in attendance that year was the Sega Corporation, showing off a multitude of new products they'd been developing, like the new handheld Sega Game Gear, and a number of upcoming games for their Sega Mega Drive home console. One such game was an early build of Sonic the Hedgehog. As this was still a full year before the final release of the game, many elements would go on to be changed, making this demo build full of weird and unusual assets. To truly understand the context of this demo, we'll need to look a little further back to the development of the Sonic series as a concept. Early on in production, once the finalized character designs had been decided, lead designer Naoto Oshima set out to create the story for the series as well as its supporting cast. It was originally planned for Sonic to have a human girlfriend named Madonna, and play in a band consisting of a rabbit, chicken, monkey, and crocodile. Based on pre-production art from the time, the overall Sonic universe was very different than the final version we received, seeming much more psychedelic or dreamlike. It appeared that Sonic would be fighting a wide variety of aliens and other monster-like creatures, like this hand enemy, or this goblin-like guy as opposed to the robotic badniks that would become the series' norm. It's from these early concepts that the Tokyo Toy Show demo would be based, as evidenced in screenshots of the event. With that knowledge in mind, let's take a closer look at the demo itself. Starting off, the title screen of the demo lacked the background of the final game and had many small differences in the artwork of Sonic in the game's logo. You can see a difference in shading on his quills, as well as the position of his eyes. Players would control Sonic as he runs through the Green Hill Zone, much like the final game, just with many differences. From screenshots, we can see that Sonic's sprite at the time used a different pose, spreading out his arms and legs more than in his final sprite. In his running animation, you can see that his ears point forward in the demo, and the shading on his quills is again quite different. Gone are the waterfalls that normally appear in Green Hill, replaced with what look like smaller mountain cliffs. When comparing gameplay screenshots to concept art, I believe the gray cliff-like objects in the background are actually some type of building or skyscraper. To me, it looks an awful lot like these are the buildings in the background of the Spring Yard Zone in the final game. You can even see the mountains above them like in the demo. Here we can see Sonic running past the sign that's a little tough to read, but the common thought here is that it says "You are welcome" with some harder to make out text underneath. I think it might say "everyone," as if "you are welcome everyone." A little farther on, we can see this goblin dude from the concept art, once again cementing the fact that the early concept art was the main inspiration for this demo build. Would he walk normally and try to jump on the player when they get close? Or maybe he would jump out from behind the bush he's pictured near. Speaking of jumping, in this screenshot we can see Sonic jumping in the air, not curled into his ball form like in the final game. Sonic is able to beat enemies by jumping on them in the final build because he's rolled into the ball. So would jumping on enemies kill them in this demo build, or was it just a way to avoid touching them? This screenshot shows Sonic running under a large red text that reads "Debut Approaching." Being that this screenshot was published in a magazine, there seems to be some confusion of whether or not this text was in the actual game, or added to the screenshot afterwards for marketing purposes. If you look closely at the bottom left of the text, you can see it being slightly obscured by the palm tree in the foreground, making me believe that this was in the game itself. Lastly, we have this screenshot showing Sonic and Madonna with the series logo and the Sega text repeating in the background. This may have been some type of credit screen shown after the demo concluded, but it's impossible to say for sure. So what did the people who played the demo think of it? A few magazines had published accounts of their time with the game, and I've done my best to translate them into English in hopes that we may find some more information about what happens in the demo. Please keep in mind that I did my best in translating these. I'm in no way an expert in the Japanese language. I'm just a guy with Google Translate and Adobe Photoshop, so go easy on me. In the first magazine, it reads, "Introducing an action game with comical characters. The main character Sonic seems to have escaped from an American comic book and is very cute. The movement is like watching a scene from an anime. The graphics also make heavy use of complex colors, and background layer scrolling is amazing. When the screen scrolls, Sonic's foot movement becomes super fast. There are also these enemy characters. They make the game so much fun. The day when Sonic blows in is not far away." Another reads, "I don't know all of the details of what type of game this will be at the moment, but when I look at the screen, I feel the colors are a little different from other Sega graphics so far. It seems that I like the pop and bright atmosphere." These quotes don't tell us too much about the gameplay, unfortunately, but it does let us know that it was generally well received. People enjoyed the overall graphics and presentation, and wondered if Sonic would become Sega's new mascot, replacing Alex Kidd. And that's about it. That's really all we have in terms of screenshots and information of this early build of the game. I would love to show you video footage of the game running at the toy show, but unfortunately we have no video whatsoever. Even though footage of the event itself has surfaced, not a single shot of the Sonic demo was captured. Well, if I can't show you video from the event, can I show you footage of the demo running on real hardware or emulation? Well, no. This demo is currently lost. No one at Sega or Sonic Team seemed to have a copy of this build that was shown at the event. When asked about the demo, series co-creator Yuji Naka stated, "I'm looking for this ROM. It's gone, nowhere to be found." He later goes on to say, "And another thing I'd like to add is that we worked really hard to find this software. It must exist somewhere. We created the build for it. When we created the Sonic Mega Collection, we thought it would be a great addition to have. That original prototype that we used, the first one shown to the world. But it just is nowhere to be found. And it's such a great shame that we can't find it." Don't be fooled. What you're seeing here is an amazingly faithful recreation of the Tokyo Toy Show demo, created by YouTube user MCTravisYT. Based on images found of the build, and information from people who were in attendance of the show, MCTravisYT created what is most likely the closest thing we'll ever get to the original demo. He faithfully recreated all of the sprite work, from demo-specific shading, to even the debuting soon text that appeared at the end of the demo. The famous "You Are Welcome" sign has been recreated as well, giving us our cleanest look at what we could have had. Honestly, playing this demo recreation is a surreal experience. It kind of feels like taking a look into a different reality, where this was the final product we received. I highly recommend you give this recreation a shot, so I'll link to MCTravisYT's channel down below, where you can find the game for yourself. Major props to you, MCTravisYT. This was a dream come true for me. So will this demo ever be found? I don't personally feel that all hope is lost. With the release of the Space World, Pokemon Gold and Silver demos, I feel like anything is possible. It may be out there somewhere, sitting on a development cartridge in someone's closet. There really is no way to know. The community has been working non-stop to try and find this demo, even reaching out to other developers that worked for Sonic Team back during development. It may just be a matter of time, and I'm not gonna lose hope. Hey folks, thank you so much for checking out this video and making it all the way to the end screen. That means the world to me. A very special thank you to all of my supporters on Patreon. Without your support, these videos would not be possible. I'll see you all next time.